My friend, if you are a man over 50, I want you to pause for just a moment. Think about how your body has been feeling lately. Maybe you notice that your energy is not what it used to be. Perhaps your nights are restless, you wake up often to use the bathroom, or your joints feel stiff in the morning. Some men tell me their blood pressure is creeping up, others whisper that intimacy with their partner is not the same anymore. You are not alone. Every week I meet men just like you. They try to eat healthy, they follow the advice of their doctors, and yet they feel weaker, more tired, and less confident as the years pass. I understand how frustrating this is, because you are doing your best and still your body seems to betray you. Here is the truth I have learned over many years of practice. Sometimes, the very foods that we believe are good for us are quietly working against us. They can interfere with your testosterone, inflame your prostate, and drain the energy you need to live fully. No one tells you this, and yet it makes a world of difference in how you feel every single day. In this conversation, I want to share with you the foods that silently sabotage the vitality of men over 50, but I will not stop there. I will also show you the foods that act like powerful allies, foods that can support your heart, your circulation, your sleep, and even your confidence as a man. These are simple changes, easy to apply, but the results can be life-changing. And I want this to be more than just me talking to you. I want to hear from you as well. Please take a moment to comment below and tell me about your own situation. Are you struggling with low energy, with blood pressure, with sleep, or with intimacy? Your story matters. When you share, you not only help me create the right videos for you, but you may also encourage another man who is silently going through the same struggle. So stay with me until the end, because I believe this may be the beginning of a new chapter for your health, one filled with strength, clarity, and vitality. Not long ago, I sat across from a man who reminded me very much of you. His name was Robert, 67 years old, a retired teacher who had always tried to take care of himself. He walked every morning, he avoided junk food, and he followed every piece of advice his doctor gave him. From the outside, it looked like he was doing everything right. But when he came into my office, I could see the frustration on his face. He said, "Doctor, I do not understand. I am eating healthy. I am doing my best, but every month I feel weaker. My energy is gone, my sleep is broken, and the spark in my marriage is fading. What am I missing?" I listened carefully, and then I asked him to tell me about his diet. With pride, he explained that he had replaced red meat with more vegetables, switched to vegetable oils instead of butter, and drank soy milk every morning because it was supposed to be good for the heart. He truly believed he was making the right choices. When we looked closer, the picture became clear. Many of the foods he thought were helping him were quietly working against his body. They were lowering his testosterone, inflaming his joints, and draining the very energy he was trying to protect. The good news is this. Once we made a few simple changes, Robert began to feel different within weeks. His mornings no longer started with fatigue, his sleep became deeper. And his wife, with a big smile, told me she felt like she had her husband back again. Stories like Robert's are the reason I am talking with you today, because what happened to him may be happening to you too, and I want you to know that it is not your fault, and it can be changed. My friend, let us start with a food that surprises almost every man I speak with. It is soy. You have probably heard for years that soy is healthy, that it protects the heart, and that it is a smart alternative to red meat or dairy. Maybe you even have soy milk in your refrigerator right now, thinking you are doing something good for your body. But for men over 50, soy can quietly become an enemy. Here is why. Soy is rich in compounds called phytoestrogens. Think of them as plant imposters. Inside your body, these imposters act like the female hormone estrogen. For a younger man, a little soy here and there might not make much difference. But as we age, our natural testosterone levels already begin to decline. Adding phytoestrogens to that picture is like adding weight to an already sinking boat. Your testosterone drops further, your energy fades, and your masculinity feels weaker. I will never forget one of my patients, a man named Carlos, who was 68. He was strong and sharp-minded, but he came to me saying, "Doctor, I do not know what is happening. I feel empty. I am tired all the time, and the intimacy with my wife is almost gone." His blood tests revealed that his testosterone was at the very bottom of the normal range, while his estrogen was unusually high. When I asked about his diet, everything became clear. Every morning he had a smoothie with soy protein powder. At lunch, he added tofu to his salad. With dinner, he drank soy milk with oatmeal. Day after day, he was filling his body with phytoestrogens. We made one simple change. Carlos removed processed soy from his diet. Instead, he turned to clean protein sources like eggs, pasture-raised chicken, and fish. In less than 1 month, his energy returned. But the most touching sign of change came from his wife. She wrote me a short note that said, "Thank you for giving me my husband back." Soy is not evil when used in moderation, especially when it is fermented in traditional forms like miso or tempeh. But the processed soy hidden in protein bars, shakes, and packaged foods is a silent thief of male vitality. If you want your energy, your strength, and your masculinity to last, the first step is simple. Remove soy imposters from your daily plate. The second enemy is one that almost every household in America has without even realizing it. It is corn, but not the corn on the cob that you enjoy at a summer barbecue, and not the traditional tortilla made from stone-ground corn. I am talking about processed corn, corn syrup, corn oil, and cornstarch that fill our packaged foods. You see, modern industry has taken this simple grain and turned it into something that silently harms the body. Processed corn products are everywhere. They are hidden in sodas, in breads, in cookies, in salad dressings, even in sauces. And one of the most common forms is corn oil, which many men use to cook because the label proudly says 0 cholesterol. It sounds healthy, but for men over 50, it can quietly inflame the body from the inside. Here is why. Corn oil and other processed corn products are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids. Now, our body does need omega-6, but it also needs to stay in balance with omega-3, the healthy fats found in fish, walnuts, and flax seeds. In the modern diet, this balance is broken. Instead of equal amounts, we now consume up to 20 times more omega-6 than omega-3. That imbalance sets the stage for silent inflammation. I remember Javier, a 62-year-old man from Bogotá. He came to me with stiff joints, constant fatigue, and a quiet confession that his erections were no longer firm. He thought he was making healthy choices because he replaced butter with margarine and olive oil with corn oil, but his efforts backfired. His body was on fire with low-grade inflammation. The inner lining of his blood vessels was damaged, and that lining is what produces nitric oxide, the molecule that opens your arteries and allows blood to flow strongly, including to where you need it most as a man. The solution was simple. Javier removed all refined corn and soy oils from his kitchen. Instead, he began cooking with olive oil and he added salmon, sardines, and a high-quality fish oil supplement. Within weeks, his morning stiffness improved, his energy returned, and the most powerful sign appeared naturally one morning. His erections came back. That is the power of balance. Processed corn is not just empty calories. For men over 50, it is an invisible enemy to your heart, your circulation, and your masculinity. Replacing it with omega-3 rich foods can bring life back into your body. The third enemy may surprise you even more because it is often praised as a superfood. It is spinach. Now, do not get me wrong, spinach can be very healthy. It is rich in magnesium, vitamins, and fiber. But when eaten raw in large amounts, especially in smoothies or salads every single day, spinach can quietly rob your body of one of the most important minerals for men, zinc. Let me explain. Raw spinach is loaded with a substance called oxalates. Think of oxalates as little thieves. When they enter your digestive system, they grab on tightly to minerals like calcium and, most importantly, zinc. Instead of letting your body absorb these minerals, oxalates carry them out of your body, leaving you with a hidden deficiency. Why does this matter so much for men over 50? Because zinc is like gold for your masculinity. It is essential for producing testosterone, for protecting your prostate, and for keeping your vitality strong. Without enough zinc, testosterone levels drop, energy falls, and intimacy fades. I recall one of my patients, Miguel, a 67-year-old man who loved exercise. Every morning he made himself a giant green smoothie with raw spinach, believing it was the best fuel for his body. But month after month, he felt weaker, and his desire for intimacy vanished. His blood work showed something surprising. His zinc levels were extremely low, even though he was eating foods rich in zinc. The culprit was the oxalates in his daily raw spinach smoothie. The solution was not to abandon spinach altogether. Spinach can still be your friend, but only when prepared the right way. Simply cooking it changes everything. When you lightly sauté or steam spinach for a few minutes, the heat breaks down much of the oxalates. That means your body can finally absorb the zinc, calcium, and other minerals that spinach has to offer. When Miguel stopped drinking raw spinach smoothies and instead enjoyed a spinach omelet or a side of sautéed spinach, his zinc levels began to rise within weeks. Soon after, his energy returned, his workouts felt stronger, and his wife noticed the difference too. So remember this, raw spinach every day may sound healthy, but for men over 50, it can quietly steal the very minerals you need most. Cook it, and it becomes a source of strength instead of weakness. After talking about the enemies, let us now bring in the heroes, the foods that can work with your body and restore your strength. The first one is humble, earthy, and often overlooked, beetroot. You may know it as beet. It is not exotic, it is not expensive, yet for men over 50, it can be like opening the floodgates of life back into your circulation. Here is the secret. Beets are one of the richest natural sources of dietary nitrates. Now, do not confuse this with the harmful nitrates that are found in processed meats. The nitrates in fresh beets are different. Once inside your body, they are converted into nitric oxide, the master molecule that relaxes and opens up your blood vessels. Why is this so powerful? Imagine a garden hose that is kinked and weak. That is what happens to your circulation when your arteries are stiff and narrow. Now imagine straightening that hose and turning it into a strong fire hydrant. That is what nitric oxide from beets can do for your blood flow. It allows oxygen and nutrients to travel everywhere, including to your heart, your brain, and yes, to the places that define your masculinity. Science backs this up. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition showed that drinking beet juice can lower blood pressure and improve artery function in just hours. That means the effect is not only long-term, but also immediate. Many men report feeling more energetic and even noticing stronger morning erections after adding beets to their diet. But here is the key detail. How you prepare them matters. Canned beets lose much of their magic because the heat of processing destroys those delicate nitrates. Pickled beets are loaded with salt and vinegar, which can counteract the benefit. What you need are fresh beets. You can grate them raw into a salad, roast them lightly in the oven, or steam them gently. That is when the nitrates remain intact and do their best work in your body. I have seen men who add a simple beet salad to their meals 3 times a week and notice changes within a month. Their blood pressure improves, their stamina returns, and their confidence grows. For men over 50, beets are not just food, they are circulation medicine given to us by nature. The second hero in our story is one that many people overlook, or worse, they boil it until it is soft and tasteless. I am talking about broccoli. At first glance, broccoli looks simple, just another green vegetable on your plate. But for men over 50, it holds a hidden power that can protect your hormones, your prostate, and your vitality. Here is why. Broccoli belongs to a family of vegetables called cruciferous vegetables, which also includes cauliflower and Brussels sprouts. These vegetables contain a remarkable compound known as sulforaphane. Think of sulforaphane as your personal bodyguard against excess estrogen. You see, real male vitality is not only about having enough testosterone, it is also about keeping estrogen under control. Too much estrogen in a man's body can lead to low energy, weight gain, mood swings, and even prostate problems. Sulforaphane helps your liver do its job more efficiently by detoxifying and removing the extra estrogen that your body does not need. In other words, it clears the stage so that testosterone can shine. This is why broccoli is such a powerful ally for men who want to feel strong and balanced. But sulforaphane does even more. It reduces systemic inflammation and acts as a protector for your prostate. For men who are worried about prostate health, adding broccoli to the diet is one of the simplest and most effective steps you can take. Now here comes the important part, preparation. Sulforaphane is extremely sensitive to heat. If you boil broccoli until it is limp and gray, or if you microwave it for too long, you destroy most of this healing compound. What you are left with is fiber, which is still good, but you lose the special protective power. The right way is gentle. Steam your broccoli for 3 or 4 minutes, just enough so it stays crisp and bright green. Or enjoy it raw with a healthy dip like hummus or olive oil dressing. That way, the sulforaphane remains intact, and your body receives the full benefit. I once worked with a man named Javier who told me proudly that he ate broccoli every night. But when I asked how he cooked it, he admitted, "I put it in the microwave for 5 minutes until it is very soft." Once he learned the right way to steam it lightly, within weeks he noticed better energy, easier digestion, and even less discomfort in his prostate. So do not underestimate this humble green vegetable. With the right preparation, broccoli becomes one of the strongest protectors of male vitality after 50. The third hero may look simple, something you add to a pizza or a salad without thinking twice. But mushrooms, especially the common white button mushrooms you can find in any grocery store, are far more powerful than they appear. For men over 50, they can act as silent protectors of testosterone, helping you keep the strength and drive that define your vitality. Let me explain. As men age, there is an enzyme in the body that becomes more active. It is called aromatase. Aromatase has one job, and it is not in your favor. It takes the testosterone you already have and converts it into estrogen. In other words, it steals your masculinity and shifts the balance toward hormones that make you weaker, softer, and less energetic. This effect becomes even stronger if you carry extra belly fat, which fuels aromatase activity. Here is where mushrooms come in. Research from respected institutions like the Beckman Research Institute has shown that white mushrooms contain natural compounds that act as aromatase inhibitors. Think of them as bodyguards for your testosterone. They do not create new testosterone, but they protect the testosterone you already have, preventing it from being stolen and turned into estrogen. What does this mean for you? It means that more of your testosterone stays free and active in your bloodstream, ready to do its job. That job is to support your energy, your focus, your muscle strength, and your desire for intimacy. Many men notice not only improved vitality, but also a steadier mood and sharper mental clarity when they add mushrooms to their diet. I remember Miguel, a 67-year-old runner who had already improved his zinc levels by cooking his spinach, yet he still felt like something was missing. When I asked him to add mushrooms sautéed with garlic and olive oil a few times per week, everything clicked. A month later, he called me and said, "Doctor, the drive is back. It is not a restless energy. It is calm, steady, and strong. I feel like myself again after 10 years." That is the quiet magic of mushrooms. They do not shout for attention, but they stand guard over your hormones. So next time you shop, put a pack of white mushrooms in your basket. Cook them simply, enjoy them often, and let them protect the testosterone that keeps you strong. We have spoken about foods that steal your vitality and the heroes that give it back. Now let me share with you a hidden mineral that very few men know about, yet it can quietly transform the way your hormones work. Its name is boron. Boron is not often mentioned by doctors. It does not appear on most supplement labels, and you will not hear it advertised on television. But science shows that boron has a unique role in supporting testosterone, especially for men over 50. Here's how it works. In your bloodstream, there is a protein called SHBG, which stands for sex hormone binding globulin. Think of SHBG as a security guard that handcuffs your testosterone, making it inactive. Even if your blood test shows normal testosterone, much of it may be locked up and unavailable to your body. What really matters is free testosterone, the portion that is active and able to energize you, support your muscles, sharpen your mind, and fuel your desire. Boron helps by lowering the levels of SHBG. When SHBG is reduced, more testosterone is released from its handcuffs and becomes free. That means your body can actually use the testosterone it already has. The result is often more energy, better mood, and stronger vitality without needing artificial hormones. And the good news is that you do not need expensive pills to get boron. Nature already provides it in simple foods. Dates, raisins, and avocados are excellent natural sources. Just a handful of raisins as a snack, a couple of dates in your morning smoothie, or half an avocado with your lunch can give your body the boron it needs. I have seen men who add these foods regularly and notice changes within weeks. They feel more alert during the day, their sleep is deeper at night, and their confidence in intimacy begins to return. It is a small step, but for men over 50, small steps can create big transformations. So remember this hidden key. Alongside the beets, broccoli, and mushrooms, add boron-rich foods to your diet. This mineral does not just add to your testosterone, it unlocks the testosterone you already have, making every part of your life stronger. My friend, let us take a moment to put everything together. We began this conversation by uncovering 3 hidden enemies in the diet of many men over 50. Soy, with its plant estrogens, quietly lowers your testosterone. Processed corn, with its overload of omega-6, fuels inflammation and damages circulation. And raw spinach, with its oxalates, steals the minerals you need most, especially zinc. These are not obvious villains, yet they slowly drain your strength. But the good news is that nature also gives us powerful allies. Beets, with their natural nitrates, open your blood vessels and restore healthy circulation. Broccoli, with its sulforaphane, helps your body keep estrogen under control and protects your prostate. And mushrooms, the humble white mushrooms you see every day, guard your testosterone from being stolen by the enzyme aromatase. And then there is boron, the hidden mineral. It does not create new testosterone, but it unlocks the testosterone you already have, making it free and active in your bloodstream. Simple foods like raisins, dates, and avocados can give you this forgotten key. The message is simple, but powerful. You are not powerless. You do not need to accept fatigue, restless nights, or fading intimacy as the price of growing older. With a few wise changes on your plate, you can rebuild your energy, protect your prostate, lower your blood pressure, and feel strong again. I want you to remember that every big change starts with one small step. Pick one idea from today's conversation, just one, and begin with it this week. Cook your spinach instead of blending it raw. Replace corn oil with olive oil. Add beets or mushrooms to your meals. Then notice how your body responds. You are capable of more than you realize. With the right knowledge and the right choices, your best years can still be ahead of you. My friend, we have walked together through some very important truths today. You now know which foods can silently harm your hormones and your energy, and you also know the simple, natural heroes that can protect your strength. This knowledge is not meant to stay in your head only. It is meant to be lived, one meal at a time, one small change at a time. I want to leave you with a gentle reminder. You are not alone in this journey. There are thousands of men just like you, searching for answers, hoping to feel strong again, and wondering if it is too late. Let me tell you clearly, it is not too late. Your body is ready to respond when you give it the right support. Now, I would love to hear from you. If this video was useful, please give it a like and subscribe so you never miss the next conversation we share. If you truly found value here, type the number 1 in the comments. If you did not, type the number 0. And most of all, tell me about your own health challenges. Your story may inspire another man to take his first step toward change. Thank you for your trust, and I will see you in the next video.